Good morning and good evening and good day and good season. Hello. I've just been excited to create again. I feel like slowly but surely I've been getting a lot more just appreciative of the art itself and kind of removing a lot of the noise around all of it. A lot of new recent developments. We'll get into that later. Let's just do some art and feel it out. What you may or may not be able to see here is the beginnings of my shadow. Let me move over. What you may or may not be able to see here is the beginnings of a figure drawing that I have started. And see, what's interesting to me is something that I completely forgot. Time to take a heat pack break. We are back, and I can kind of stand again. It is not easy. We're going to switch up from drawing mode to just kind of throwing ourselves into the painting. Wow. This is headed into a good place. It's always extremely difficult for me to know exactly what I was saying because I don't remember exactly what I was saying. Hello, we are talking about the week a little bit. Well, first, let me just say, I'm quite enjoying how this piece is coming out. This is my first time working on a full figure from imagination. The last one kind of was that, but it was also like pulling influences from the figures that I had been studying. This one is just completely kind of coming up with just whatever feels right. I like it. This week has been another week of intense project work. Last week, I basically worked on setting up my own home Netflix. This week, I did the same thing, but kind of for Spotify. And that's kind of like, as soon as I started building this server, it started this whole time warp, rabbit hole, black hole thing that has just been completely sucking up all of my time. Now that I'm kind of coming to the end of it, I'm realizing this really was not for nothing. This is like, now I have an actual tool that helps me a lot. Helps me focus a lot better in my day-to-day life because I don't have to be like context switching between all of these different apps and platforms and what do I want to do, As I'm looking at this piece a little bit more, there's a few pieces that I feel I've done well at. I feel I've done rather well at defining a general posture and getting kind of that stuff going, but now that I'm looking, the torso just looks flat to me, and the face looks okay. The hair looks okay. I've been dealing with some pretty intense what I think is sciatica this week. If you have any remedies that worked for you, I would love to hear them in the comments below because I have been really bothered by this. All of this time that I've spent on these different projects, like I've mentioned, I came out with an actually useful tool for myself, but on top of that, while I did maintain a consistent sketching and painting practice, I was not putting nearly as much pressure on that during this project. And I feel like that's let me step away from, I think maybe the ego aspect of a little of it a little bit, in the sense that when I can only talk for myself here. When I identify myself as a painter, my ego starts to get caught up in how good am I at painting, because you want to be good at the things that you focus on, especially if they're your main thing. I think that's a pretty common feeling. And so the level of risk taking, I feel, kind of goes down just a little bit, because you want what you're going to make to be good. And I also feel like while it can be good to sort of circle one thing for a while and really polish it, eventually the lack of risk taking to not try new things is a ceiling. Again, speaking from personal experience only for myself. And so since getting sort of moving my ego out of this a little bit, things feel a lot better for me personally. Let's just engage with the thing genuinely artistically. You know what I'm saying? Let's not let any sort of outside metrics or even inside perception of quality limit the things that I am going to make. That's not me necessarily arguing that every single thing is perfect, but I don't think anybody thinks that I'm arguing that. So part of this whole thing that I'm trying to do okay. I think the more I do this figure drawing stuff, the more I may have gone too far. The more I do this figure drawing stuff, the more I am realizing the merits of oil paints. I feel like the ability to just slowly be able to add and blend, and then it kind of works together over time, and it's this much slower process, I feel like lends itself very nicely to doing this type of work. I'm used to working just so fast, so just like aggressive. Acrylic has always been kind of home base for me, but I'm at a point now where it's like, do I go to oils for a little bit? I don't know. I don't know if I want to deal with the cleanup of the oils. That's kind of the trouble. I think the common thread through everything lately seems to be letting go. It's like a nuanced version of letting go, not like in the sense of like, if something's hard, let it go, or if this is bothering you, let it go. Not in that sense at all. I mean it in the sense of letting go of the egotistical need, and this is, I'm again speaking for myself, letting go of the egotistical need to make something good. So it's not any less effort, it's actually more effort, because it's putting myself, well, let me remove this from the tape. It's like putting your feet to the ground per se and saying run. It's like not overthinking something, but just knowing that trying really hard at it is going to be all that you really need to do. So in the sense, it's very much letting go, in the sense of letting go of the fear and the ego's need to cling to being, you know, seen as good or seen as anything, and then allowing yourself to really try really hard at whatever might seem genuinely interesting. Now, if I said anything in that made me feel like I was talking about or talking from anybody's perspective other than my own, that is not what I intended. But from my own perspective, I think this is the core, one of the core lessons that has been coming up for me over the past season, we'll say. Yeah, man, this week I don't even have any art to show you guys except for that. But honestly, dude, I feel very much refreshed. I feel like, I don't know, there's an overwhelming current, it feels, in the ether, that this summer is the summer of no messing around. Ooh. Ooh. Outside of that, man, that's been pretty much my whole week. I've been spending a whole bunch of time with my kid. I've been doing a whole bunch of server stuff. Finally finishing that up today. And now we're getting ready for a whole bunch of painting push. Next week's video, we'll be able to see where this creative energy went. I am excited to make it already, and I haven't even made this video yet. The album of the week this week. Oh, Jiminy Christmas, we're facing another overheating. The album of the week this week, for the first time ever in history, is an actual album. Just kidding, it's The Curse of Oak Island. Anyways, if you haven't already subscribed, please consider subscribing. That would help the channel greatly as we are quite small. If you like the video, that will help it get out to a much wider audience. If you'd like to have your name at the end of the video as an executive producer, consider becoming a member where you will get an extra video per month and your name in the credits. With that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful week. I will see you in 9 days. Goodbye now.